What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Yolopark Transformers 1 cogged mode of Orion Pax or Optimus Prime, Megatron D16, Bumblebee B127, and Elita-1. So we just looked at the uncogged versions. They were smaller. These are the bigger versions. And thanks to Dr. Diecast for sending these for review. I'm going to look at all of these today in just one review. I figured it's easier to kind of have them together since they're sort of a team from the movie. And we'll open each one, build it, and then review it. So let's get started. All right, starting off with Orion Pax. We have an image here on the front. It does have a window box, so you can open this up. On the top of the window piece, you have images of the product, and then here's the actual pieces that you're going to assemble. On the back, you have this image, which is the same on every box. I'm only going to cover this box. I'm not going to review them all. I just figured I'd look at one. There are the AMK Pro series coming of Optimus Prime and Megatron. We don't have those today. We looked at these four. Now we're looking at these four. I don't know if Dr. Diecast is planning to get these, but either way, we're not looking at those today. We get the instructions. And these are really, really simple to put together, so you don't necessarily even need the instructions, but here's the articulation, accessories. On this side, we got assembly instructions. Very straightforward overall. And then here's the figure itself. Here's how it comes packed. So let's put it together. That goes in here. This is on a ball joint. This feels a little bit loose. All right, there we go. Rear plate for the leg. This plugs right in. And here's the torso. So let's get the other leg together. All right, I think I said torso, but I meant the waist piece. So go ahead and take the waist piece, plug the legs in. They're just friction fit into here. There you go. There's his legs and waist. Let's take the upper body. Looks like that just plugs in here. So this looks like it goes like this. Then we can attach the hand. I'm not even using the instructions right now. It's very simple and straightforward. You don't really need them. And I think this is going to go like this. Yeah. And then we can plug the arm into here. And yeah, so we'll do the other arm. All right, now we can take care of the head. And that's just a ball joint, so just pop that in there. All right, and there's Orion Pax in cogged mode. And it does look pretty nice. You got some silver paint on the head with blue for the eyes. Some black paint here, yellow accents here on the chest and the abs. Silver paint here on the arms, the waist, the thighs, shins, and on the side here. A little bit of gray detail there. And here's the back. It does have some nice details, so that's pretty cool. We don't get the backpack accessory here, so this part doesn't come off like it did on the smaller ones. It does have some loose ankles. They're very loose. I think it's because they're ball jointed, and this piece here is like coming apart. So I think you'd be better off gluing this together once you've put it together, and then that will prevent this from popping out. I think that was a mistake in assembly. I'm not sure, but it is definitely loose. Speaking of that, let's go over the articulation. Heads on a ball joint, goes up to there, down to there, side to side, and rotates around. This plastic is a little bit softer, so just expect that. Shoulders rotate around on a ball joint. You have a butterfly joint built in to this piece here on a hinge. Shoulders will go up to there. A little bit upward movement on the inner joint, and then the outer joint will go up to there. The shoulder piece pad is on its own hinge, so you can lift that up separately. I have noticed this plastic piece on top likes to pop off. So if you go past its limit, it will start popping that plastic piece off. So just be aware of that. You can pop that back in. We have a rotation here at the bicep. Oh, nice painted smokestacks here. And by the way, they call him Optimus Prime on the box, but he doesn't come with Optimus Prime head. So I think it's Orion Pax. I'm not sure why they call it Optimus Prime. It's not quite. Unless you get the head, I think it's unfair to call him that. Rotation of the bicep, double jointed. Oh, I have this backwards. Double jointed elbow gets you the full bend. You have a cover down piece here, so a little bit of detail as you bend. Honestly, I think the bend is only limited by this piece here. You have a ball jointed wrist, so that gets you all the directions and the rotation. For the waist, you have upper waist here, so you get a crunch there. Lower waist, you get another crunch, so between the two, you get that much. Back to there. Side to side, you have the upper waist and the lower waist, so both can be combined to get all the way to there. And then you have a rotation at the lower waist. Gets you around. Hip skirts are attached back here on a ball joint. They're pretty weird. I'm not sure why people make hip skirts like this, but if you can sort of get it out of the way. I just don't like how they're designed, but you can kind of rotate this up, and then you can get the leg up to there, back to there, out to the side. That's on friction. I will say it doesn't feel very good. It just feels like a soft plastic, so just use caution. Rotation of the thigh around a universal. You have a double jointed knee with some cover pieces in there. That looks really nice. Some pistons. Would have been nice if they painted it, but that's fine. It works and it looks good. We have a ball jointed ankle. Goes side to side, forward and backward, and rotates. And for the accessories, we get some alternate hands. We get these outreaching, expressive hands. I'm not going to install them. We get this pointing finger hand, which looks fine. The hands are very tight, so if you pop them off, we'll put on this gripping hand. And you really have to kind of hold it and shove it on there. And I'll put this pointing hand on over here. Yeah, it's very tight. Okay, there we go. Although I guess I prefer tight over loose. All right, and then we get his gun, which actually I'm going to install in this hand before we put it on. It's a little bit weird to get it on there. You have to kind of get the thumb and the fingers around, and then he will fit the pointer finger through the trigger guard. All right, there we go. Now, because of the way this is sculpted, you can't get this on without putting it at an angle. So it has to be out to the side like this. I find that really silly. Like, why didn't you think through putting the gun in the hand? You know, this just doesn't work. Now, in the box, they show him with a pose like this, and that kind of works, but overall, I think it's really silly. They couldn't figure out a better way for him to hold the gun straight. You know, he holds it at an angle there. All right, next we'll take a look at D16, or Megatron cogged version. And again, it's meant to be both characters, but I don't think it's, personally, without an extra head, it's not really going to be Megatron. There's the articulation, accessories. On this side, we got the build. Again, very simple. You don't really need the instructions. And it looks like it's just two pieces. And then we'll grab his waist here. It looks like these will just plug in like this. And again, they did the waist the same way with these hip skirts that are hinged in the back. All right, let's grab his chest. Looks like that'll plug in right here. Go ahead and grab this. We'll plug this into here. And this looks like the front. So this panel just plugs in. Like that. And then there's a panel for the back. That'll plug in right here. and then it plugs into each other. So make sure you get that lined up before you press it in. So it looks something like this. And he's got a panel for the arm. Pretty self-explanatory, just plugs in right there. By the way, I'm building this for the first time with you guys, so I am just kind of figuring it out, but also doing it. Jeez, okay. That ball joint was really tight. And then we get his accessory here, so I might as well just put that on there. That fits in right there. Then we can take this arm and plug it in. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the other side as well. Alright, there he is with both arms. Only thing I didn't put on is the gun. I just wanted to show you this is different than the other side. So this will just peg in right here. There you go. And then last but not least, we'll get the head. And it looks like it's a ball joint that plugs into the top. Alright, and there is D16 or Megatron fully put together. And it does look really nice. I like the paint job and the overall look, but it does feel cheap yet again, just like the Optimus. We got loose ankles. The plastic is very kind of squishy. Overall, it looks nice, but again, it feels a little bit on the cheap side. Got that nice metallic goldish silver throughout. Nice Megatronus symbol there on the shoulder. A little blue paint there, red paint there, and on the arms. Gunmetal paint with silver mixed in. More of that throughout the legs. I don't think there's a wash or anything, but the plastic, just due to the different colors, looks nice. Here's the back. He does have a backpack here. The backpack is a different color, so there's like silver, and then there's like goldish silver on this figure. I think you can see the difference between them. So there's two different shades on him. For the articulation, the head goes up to there. The neck joint itself is articulated, so it gets all the way up to there, all the way down to there. His helmet pops off. I don't think that's supposed to come off easily, but it does. And a lot of these things you could probably just glue together if they bother you, but side to side, and due to the double jointed, barbell joint, you get a lot of movement out of that. And it rotates around. Nice yellow eyes with silver face. Shoulder rotated around on a ball joint. The shoulder pad is not a separate piece like it was on the Optimus. So I have to admit, okay, there we go. It is a separate piece. So shoulder joint comes off separately like this, and then you can lift the arm up, get it up to there. It does kind of click into place, by the way. Rotation at the bicep, kind of through the arm, which is interesting the way they did it. Double jointed elbow gets you the full bend. You have, this panel does not stay. You have a rotation at the wrist, up and down, in and out on a ball joint, so that all works. You can swap these if you want, or remove them if you don't want them on there. For the waist, we have this kind of the same thing as Optimus. Parts are falling off here. You have an ab crunch at the top and the bottom. Combining them together, you get this much. Back to there. Side to side, we get the upper does go side to side a little, but it springs back into place, so I don't know. That doesn't really work. And then you have a rotation here. Again, it feels like a very soft, squishy plastic, but it does work. You have a rotation there. Hip skirts, same design or similar design to Optimus, except it's on a hinge, so you can lift up. Or sorry, you can rotate out on that hinge. Legs will kick up to there, back to there, out to the side. You have a rotation here at the thigh. Double jointed knee. There is a plastic piece inside, but it's very ugly. They should have done what they did with Optimus and painted it, or put some detail in there. It's very ugly. The foot can go forward and backward, side to side, and rotates. You do have a movable ankle guard. This, once again, the ankle is loose. So he tends to be a little bit on the floppy side due to those ankles. As far as the accessories, we get a couple sets of hands. We already have the guns on there, so I wouldn't display them without it, but you get these open hands with that painted goldish silver. Those will plug into the ball joints. Or you can have these more expressive open hands. Either of those will work. Alright, next we'll take a look at the Elita-1 cogged mode. And here are some product images, articulation features, and then how to assemble. Again, very easy, so you don't really need these. Here's how it comes packaged. So let's get it put together. And first let's put together the leg. So we have this leg piece. And get that attached there. Come to the back. And same thing. Goes together like that. All right, then we'll go ahead and get the foot plugged in. Oops. So it should look like this. And that's one leg done. So let's do the other side. So here is the waist. We can pop hip skirts on the ball joints. There we go. Then, let's see. Let me make sure this is the front. I think that's the front. So we'll plug these in. Again, very soft, squishy plastic. Not a great feeling for trying to put something together, you know, model kit. But. All right, let's take the waist piece, or the chest piece, and plug that in. Backpack, we'll get this plugged into there. So let's assemble the arm. Oop. So we'll get this plugged in. And the shoulder pad will go right here. Little tab piece. And then this looks like it'll go on the bottom of the arm. Yeah. And then we can get the hand on there. And I feel like got something wrong here. Okay, there we go. I got it now. Then we can get the hand on here. There we go. And we'll get that plugged in. All right, so same thing on the other side. We'll get that plugged in. All right, and the last little bit is the head, of course. So we'll grab that. You have to actually put it together, which I thought was strange, but you'll grab this, and I think this will come plug in here. Same with this one. This is almost like, why not just put this together? It's not even a model kit, really. And then this will plug in right here. All right, and there's Elita-1 all put together. A little bit of silver up here, some blue for the eyes, white paint here on the chest, a little bit of white paint here on the hands, silver detail, gold detail, more white there. Here's the back. Does look good. This one is probably the weakest, or just the strangest in terms of its articulation and the way it works. But let's go over that. The head is on a ball joint, and the neck is on a ball joint down here. Sometimes you get a little out of, you know, coordination because you rotate the neck and then, you know, you're trying to get it back together. So just rotate it back. But the neck does move and rotate, so you get side to side. Now, if you go too far, you'll pop it up. But down to there and then back to there. Good looking head. Shoulders are turn around on a ball joint. You get a butterfly joint up to there. You can get a butterfly out of the ball joint as well. You have a rotation here at the elbow, and you have a rotation here down at the wrist, or I mean at the forearm. And it's strange the way this works because you have a single joint there, but if you were to rotate it, so you had this on the front, you could rotate this bottom one up and then use the top one and you get a full bend. Right? So rather than having this one, you could use both. But because they put this panel on the side, it just doesn't work that way. So it's a little strange, but it does get you the double joint there. Hands are on a ball joint, so it rotates around and goes up and down, left and right. For the waist, we have the kind of the same thing as we had before. We have a side-to-side movement, forward and back movement at the upper ball joint. There's another one in the middle. It doesn't work all that well. It's just very strange. And the plastic is very soft and squishy, so things don't feel great. And I guess there's a rotation at the bottom one, but I mean, everything just collides. It doesn't work properly. It's there, but it doesn't work properly. Hip skirts are on a ball joint. You can get those kind of up and out of the way. But like I mentioned earlier, things just kind of get in the way here. Legs will kick up to there. It's on a drop-down hinge, which is allows you to get, you know, pretty high. But back to there. I don't know. That doesn't feel great either. Oh, it's got a click point. The first click is there. Oh, that's terrible. No, that's not how you do it. You don't want a ratcheted leg. Anyway, rotation at the thigh. You have a single jointed knee, gets you up to there. This looks like it should have been or could have been double jointed, but oh no, it is double jointed here. So you get a little bit of movement here, just up to there. So I guess it is double jointed between the two. If you bend this one first, you can get it further. For the feet, you have side to side, a little bit of collision there. Forward and backward, and then the forward and backward's on the wheel, so I think that's pretty cool the way they did it. It's actually on the motorcycle wheel, so that's kind of neat. And she does get some accessories. We get the open expressive hands. Looks like this. And to put those on, you just pop off and push it back on. Again, very tight. And we also get a pointing hand, which I'm not going to put on, but looks like this. And we get a gripping hand, which I am going to use. But before we put it on, I'll grab the gun and fit this into here. And again, get it in the hand before you try to put it on. And they've done the same thing that they've done with Optimus. The hand has to sit at an angle. Very, very, very silly. This is not how you do it, folks. It's not how you do it. But yeah, it's got to sit. I don't know. This doesn't even work, to be honest. Good looking gun, but it just doesn't work. You know, it's got to sit to the side. All right, and last but not least, we have B127 or Bumblebee cogged mode. And I saved this for last just because I thought it looked cooler because of the gold paint, but here's the articulation and the accessories and then the build. It looks relatively easy, so there you go for that. Let's get it pulled together. I think it goes this way. Yeah, so that goes on the inside. Yeah. Put that in there. It looks like something has to go back here. Oh, his bottom of his foot fell off. Let's put that back on. There is a feeling of cheap construction on these. It does go together. It does work, but there is this feeling. So anyway, looks like there is a piece that goes back here. Looks like it's right here. So just plug that in. And that's one leg ready. So let's get the other one ready. All right, next let's get the waist together. And what's going on here? Looks like this piece came out. Yeah, this has an air of cheapness to it. And then we'll attach these legs. Then let's grab his torso. And we'll put that together. So it looks like we'll attach the ball joint. That's the back. Alright, you got to move these things out of the way. Then you can assemble it. Alright, there we go. And then this will plug in here. And now it needs the chest plate on the front. So I think this goes like this. There you go. That looks really good already. So here is the upper arm. Get that attached. And then looks like this is on a square peg, so you can just plug that in like that. There you go. And then we'll get the hand attached. Everything starts coming apart as you mess with it. Okay, there we go. And then you can go ahead and plug this into here. Alright, so there's one arm. I'll do the other one. Alright, last couple steps. Let's get the back plate on here. I forgot to do that before. And we'll grab his helmet. Get that plugged in right here. Alright, and there's Bumblebee, or B-127, all together. And I did kind of save him for last because I think it looks the coolest. The paint job is really nice. He does have the air of cheapness as the others, but nice gold paint, gunmetal paint here, little accents all over. That looks really good. Translucent blue for the face mask. Some black paint there. Here's the back. Again, really nice looking deco on this one. There are some loose panels and parts like I showed you on the other figures, but overall it does seem to hold together okay. Let's go over the articulation while we're here. The head is on a ball joint, gets up to there, down to there, side to side, and rotates around. This head has a lot of space for the ball joint, so because of that you get a lot of movement. Shoulders rotate around on a inside and outside joint, so if you want to move it on the outside joint you can, or the inside joint, doesn't matter. It works either way. Shoulder pad will lift up to there, it'll lift arm up to there, and then you can get this inner shoulder joint in and up to there. So that's the max you can get. And you have a rotation here at the bicep. Double jointed elbow gets you the full bend. Wrists are on a ball joint, so they rotate around, go in and out, up and down. For the waist, you have a ab crunch here at the top. I don't think there's anything below that. Yeah, I think there's just the one joint. And then you get the rotation here. You get a side to side on the top. I don't think it's on the bottom. It feels squishy, so I'm not sure. I don't think there's anything on the bottom there. If there is, it doesn't feel good either way. Hip skirts are very strange. They fold out and back like this. And then these fold up, but if you fold it too far, they'll fall out, so don't go too far. Legs will kick up to there, back to there, out to the side. I hate how this hip skirt looks, so just leave it closed because you don't even need to open it, to be honest. Just leave it closed. You have a rotation here at the thigh, and sometimes these thighs start coming out, so you just got to push them back in. But you have a rotation there. You have a double jointed knee. There's a piece that moves back here. There's a knee piece. There's 3 or 4 pieces. It is double jointed, but after all that, you only get about 90 degrees. So, good thought, but poor execution. It looks good. I just think they could have gotten more out of that with a better design. You have ankle tilt up to there. Forward and backward is done on this ball, so that's kind of cool. Kind of like the the Elita-1. And the toe tilt, you can push up this, so that's pretty neat. The feet are very cool on this guy. For the accessories, we get some cool stuff. We get some alternate hands here. Open expressive hands with the gold piece there. And you can pop off these gold pieces on the hands. So if you want to replace the blank on this one, I think you can. Let's see. Or maybe not. Yeah, okay. So you can get in there. It's just a little tight. But the reason there's a gap there is so you can plug in these arm swords. So they have a little bit of gold on them. And it's supposed to look like it popped out, you know, of his forearm there. And you can push in on the forearm to make it kind of open up there. Has that little gimmick there. These panels love to fall off. So again, I'd suggest you know, gluing them on so they don't pop off, because it doesn't really change the function. But that is kind of cool. We also get these trigger finger hands, but they're pretty useless because he doesn't have a weapon. You need these to hold it. So kind of silly. We also get a second arm sword, which I'm going to put in there so you can see what it looks like. I think that looks really nice. I love those weapons. But if you pop off one of these hands off the ball joint, we can use this gun done in silver and gold. That'll pop on here. Yeah, and this panel just constantly likes to pop off. And I do recommend collapsing the hand because it looks more like he's using it there, but that's a nice weapon as well. The last accessory is an alternate face here. It is a pain in the butt to use it. So you have to pop the head off, come to here, come to the top here. You're going to pop out these little teeny clips. Set those aside. They're very tiny, so don't lose them. Pop off the top of the head, pull forward on the mask. Then you can replace that face. And that is a whole lot of work for something very simple. Pop that on here. And now we've got the B-127 face. So if you don't want the battle mask, you can have this. Nice option there. I'm glad that they gave you that. I'm going to keep it with the mask on there. I think that's what Dr. Diecast would want too. But nice option there. So final recommendations on the Yolopark AMK Transformers 1 cogged Optimus Prime, Megatron, Elita-1, and Bumblebee. That was a mouthful. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. I'm not going to recommend it. It just has a lot of weird problems. Now, these are just action figures. They don't transform. So all they need to do, really, is articulate and hold their weapons. And they have problems doing that. Now, I know it looks good here in the pose I have it in. But just for example, you know, Optimus is barely standing on those loose ankles. The gun that Elita-1 is holding is barely in there because the hand doesn't hold it. It's got to be on an angle. Little things like that drive you nuts when you're playing with it. Panels fall off, little pieces here and there. Those aren't things that you should be dealing with. At the $40 price point, I think it should be better. Now, I do believe the main competitor to these is the Blockies Action Edition, which is a $50 figure. It is more complicated as far as the model kit is concerned, but the quality on this is amazing. And I think these guys really need to figure out how to make the quality good again. They did have good quality back when they put together the first few AMK series, and I'm not sure what happened, but it does feel very cheap, very poor quality plastic, very rubbery, and overall the fitment of the panels and the weapons just isn't good. I did want to bring in the AMK cogless versions so you could see the size differences on these. And these were also, thanks to Dr. Diecast, I had to look at these as well. And the odd thing is, these are actually better. Like, I think these work better than the big sized versions because, I don't know, plastic just feels better. They work, everything they're supposed to do. Now, they don't have any weapons. They do have accessories, but they don't have much for weapons. Another weird thing is Megatron, or D16, in the cogless mode, is way bigger than the rest of them. But in this mode, he's the same size as Optimus. And I don't know if that's movie accurate or not. Maybe he was supposed to be bigger. I'm not sure. but that just stuck out as strange to me. So while I do recommend these smaller ones, I don't recommend this set. I just think for the price point, $40 each, you're into $160 for this whole set. It just doesn't work for me. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Dr. Diecast for sending all these for review, and we'll see you next time.